Man, that was one hell of a win against the San Francisco 49ers. And I got to tell you, watching Steve Spagnuolo dial up a bunch of different stuff, get creative with the fronts that he's working with, really got me amped up for what this defense could look like when it's healthy. Let's take a look, an inside, in-depth look at how they got after Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers this week on In Harm's Way. Want to get into today are two specific plays that I really think are going to be the defining moments for what the Chiefs end up doing in big game moments, especially going towards the end of the season and getting into the postseason. We all know that they expect to be there, and this is how they're going to do it, especially when they're healthy. The Chiefs' very first thing that they have to focus on and really create is pass rush. This is going to be the Chris Jones sack, and I'm going to show you exactly how they were able to dial it up to get Chris Jones one-on-one with the right tackle to get that big sack on third down and force a field goal. So here it is. The play design from the 49ers is threefold. Okay, they're going to have three different concepts working in the same play. They're going to motion Brandon Ayuk from his outside into the bunch right here, and they're going to work with George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk, and they're going to create what's called a sail concept. So George Kittle's running a corner route here, and Brandon Ayuk's going to run basically a 5-7 yard out route. So this is the sail concept that I'm talking about. Usually this is run with a clear out route to the to the left side of the field to clear out anybody underneath to really get that look. But underneath they're going to have, once again, they're going to have a different concept meshing with that. It's going to be mesh. They're going to have Deebo Samuel run across the formation on a short crosser. They're going to have Kyle Juszczyk release up and do the same thing here. And now for the backside, the third concept is going to create a high-low with Kyle Juszczyk and Deebo Samuel. Juwan Jennings is going to run a deep intermediate crosser, and that's what we have here. This is a threefold play, and you have the sail, you have the mesh underneath, and you have the high-low concept with the backside dig paired with Kyle Juszczyk's release and crosser as well. And pre-snap determines what Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be reading. What he's going to look at, he's going to look to his left and he's going to see that he's got the look that he wants. So he's going to read the sail concept first. That's the corner from George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk running that out route. So like I said, we have that, but what we're going to see underneath is the Chiefs are going to bring 5 rushers. Nick Bolton's going to be coming down, so that means that the Chiefs are typically going to play man coverage behind it. They're going to rotate safety down to cover Kyle Juszczyk one-on-one here. You're going to have man coverage here. Juan Thornhill's going to drop into a solo safety look, and they're going to play man, and man right there. Man coverage across the board. And they're going to be able to create some pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo, not too much at first, but this is where it comes into play. Because they were so good in the man coverage concept right here, Jimmy Garoppolo wants to throw this to George Kittle. That's what he wants to do. That's why they ran this sail concept, is to get guys running to the sideline in off coverage and what looked like it could have been off coverage or cover 2, something like that, with that too high safety look to begin. When they drop down that safety and rotate into man coverage, it makes the windows close, okay? And Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't want to really throw into tight windows very often. So when you force the quarterback to then think and clutch the ball like he is right now, he has the double clutch that gives Chris Jones the time he needs to push the right tackle into the lap, disengage, and close for the sack. And this is how Steve Spagnuolo and Joe Cullen have come together to create their own unique NASCAR look. Typically a NASCAR package is 3 or 4 defensive ends at any given time. They use Chris Jones as that defensive end, and how they're going to utilize him to make sure he's not doubled is they're going to bring Nick Bolton here. They're also going to make him line up outside of the defensive end, outside of the tackle as that defensive end, let him rush one-on-one. They have George Karlaftis essentially as a nose tackle, and they're going to bring both Carlos Dunlap and Frank Clark to that right side, rushing right next to each other. They can come anywhere they want to. They can kind of go this way and this way. They can do a lot of different looks out of this. They can do whatever they want to here and move from a lot of different places. So it's hard to know exactly where they're coming from. But again, this is how they did it. They got blitzing, they moved some guys around, and they get one-on-one situations with Frank Clark and Chris Jones, and Chris Jones just bullies McGlinchey into the backfield and gets the sack. Great job from everybody up front. And this is the Josh Williams interception. The last one I want to show you guys is because this one isn't just a single man blitz to get up to get Chris Jones one-on-one. This is an all-out blitz, and it's a lot of fun because they take a calculated risk and not covering the hot receiver or the angle route from the running back. So we'll see here that this is a really fun play design from Steve Spagnuolo to get a couple free rushes actually off the left side of the offensive line for the Chiefs, and they get a huge quarterback hit, and they get Jimmy Garoppolo basically throwing a hospital ball up, and hopefully someone can come down with it, but it doesn't work out that way. It works out for the Chiefs that way. So this is what they're doing here. The 49ers are going to run 2 goal line routes from the outside and the slot receiver. You're going to have basically what amounts to 2 whip routes, okay? Whip routes, they're going to stop at the goal line, pivot from inside to outside to, again, create that motion of the defender coming inside, following you, and you breaking to the outside where there shouldn't be a defender to let Jimmy Garoppolo throw it to the outside where there isn't anybody to give him an easier shot at the football. They're going to have George Kittle basically run behind them to the flag, all the way out. Again, creating that motion. I'm coming inside, running outside, and getting defenders inside so that I can throw it to the outside. That's what they want to do. They want to throw it to the outside. On the backside, you're going to have Jeff Wilson here running this angle route. He's going to be uncovered. This is a calculated risk, and Deebo Samuel is just going to run an in route here on the backside. But Jimmy Garoppolo is never going to get to the backside. And what I mean by they're running 7 is they're going to have Juan Thornhill blitz. They're going to have Nick Bolton blitz. They're going to have Willie Gay blitz, and then they're also obviously going to have their 4 down linemen. So you got man coverage, man coverage, man coverage, and man coverage. That leaves this running back uncovered. Again, calculated risk. That's what they have to do to get to Jimmy Garoppolo. They also know that there's almost no chance that he's going to get back to that receiver if he's reading out the left side, which he tends to do. So that's what they're doing. And they get 2 rushers off the edge here. George Karlaftis gives Jimmy Garoppolo a nice hit there. Joshua Williams comes up with the pick. Just watch George Karlaftis here as he just levels Jimmy Garoppolo. And then Joshua Williams with a really athletic play to time that jump so he can really box out anybody and then get that interception. And this is what I mean by being able to get free rushers, okay? So when you have 5 offensive linemen, there are what's called empty protections. The 49ers are not running George Kittle or Jeff Wilson in any sort of pass protection. They don't have any responsibility in that metric. So you have 5 down offensive linemen that are responsible for 7 defenders rushing the quarterback. You're messing with the empty protection. So what they end up doing, again, you have George Kittle coming out here. It looks as though Juan Thornhill's manned up with him with a single guy behind him, okay? But the fact of the matter is that we have identified already man coverage. So he's going to blitz off the end. He's going to blitz off the edge. And then when you mug up Willie Gay here and Nick Bolton, what this does to an offensive line is that typically in your 5-man protections, you know that there's going to be a free rusher of some sort. So you have to protect the inside first. So this is what they end up doing. You see you've got a guy immediately here. When you mug up him, Nick Bolton, this causes confusion with who is responsible elsewhere. Again, he could be coming here. Center has to look here. Willie Gay could be coming here. And you also have Frank Clark coming here. So we have some confusion on the responsibility here on the left side of the offensive line. And we're going to see that come to fruition as Trent Williams condenses inside, okay? He's protecting the inside first. You have 2 rushers now free off of the 49ers left side. Karlaftis does, again, a great job of accelerating through, just kind of swimming those hands away. It doesn't matter what happens here. They get 2 free rushers off the right side of the defense. And then, again, there's that hospital ball that Jimmy Garoppolo just throws up and Joshua Williams comes down with. So here you can see it in full speed of them just taking it to the offensive line and Jimmy Garoppolo. So, yeah, really, really nice play designs from Steve Spagnuolo. Really, Joe Cullen having some influence, I think, on how they're using their defensive line. They're going to be, I think, with Mike Dana, if you end up seeing a trade, I don't think you probably will, but you never know. With Mike Dana coming back healthy, they're going to start to look more exotic. And I think that's really what they need to do is be more exotic defensively, especially if they're going to roll with the same defensive ends they have all season. They got to get creative in how they create pressures and different looks. You can simulate pressure, and then you can also get free rushes off that by messing with empty protections. It was a lot of fun watching this game from a defensive standpoint as well as an offensive standpoint. Even though the 49ers scored 23 points, it didn't really feel like that in my opinion. So hats off to Steve Spagnuolo and everyone there. Make sure you guys are tuning in to what we're doing here. My film room last week, if you missed, my film room earlier was on the offense. If you missed that, go check it out. You can see all the stuff that the Chiefs did to attack Nick Bosa, as well as executing a game plan that was near flawless in execution after that interception. So make sure you guys are checking that out. And we get all of this stuff for the film every single week. We do have a bye, but make sure you're going back and watching the film reviews, because if you get to see what the Chiefs are doing week in and week out, you can prepare yourself for what you can see coming out of the bye. I think a little bit. That should be a lot of fun. So again, hope you guys are hitting that like, hit the bell and the sub notification, the sub and the bell notifications. So you're getting everything that we're doing here. We really want to bump those subs up. So once again, check out my film review from Wednesday. I think you guys will enjoy it. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.